Alright, thanks so much for joining me. I think I roughly left where I left off in the first episode, so kind of a little bit of insider story. The developer was very kind to give me a key, and I got to play a few days before the actual release, and they had to do a quick bug fix, and unfortunately in the bug fix and then the official release, it made my save files obsolete, so I had to start over again and play from the beginning. Luckily, I only play in 1 hour increments, so I was fine. I just had to replay the first hour, and it only took me about 20 minutes because I got to skip the dialogue. So I think we're back roughly where we left off. I tried to make the same choices, but I guess I don't know off the top of my head. So let's go back to the village. We just beat up those guys. We checked out at this location, and now I have to go talk to Vesna and see what she has to tell us. Oh, okay. Alright, we read this. It was made of strings. It's a protection charm that they have hanging. We'll talk to her in a minute. I want to go back. I'm sorry, Bogdan. I'm sorry.
Now I know that woman's trace. Vesna and her husband both left traces of themselves at Vasily's burned-out farmstead. Luka sincerely loves his wife. You think he loves her strongly enough to kill for her? You're right. It'd be better to ask Vesna about that.
The shaft of the axe bears a distinct trace of Luka. It's identical to the one on the doorframe of the burned homestead.
I wanted to talk. Ma'am, please open the door.
Please go. We didn't invite any guests over.
Please open the door. I'd like to have a chat about your husband.
You'd better not be here when he gets back. He's not as talkative or polite as I am.
Vesna about Luka. It is clear that this is not the first time Vesna has threatened someone with her husband. Luka must not have the best reputation in the village. Residency, Luka is a sullen troll and a recluse. However, he seems to have a soft spot. Luka was at Vasily's house on the night the murder and fire took place.
I know you're scared, but please just open the door a crack and let me ask one quick question.
What do you want?
Calm her down and make her feel safe.
Please, don't be afraid. I just need to know where I can find your husband.
He's chopping wood in the clearing by the forest.
Seems sort of wrong, but at the same time. Right, so it looks like we got to go to the forest. Yeah. I heard he can cast curses. Ah. Fear not, my dear. We shall talk later.
Again.
This time, it's a matter of life and death.
How is your search going?
Almost finished. I know who's attracting the Bukavac.
Can you reveal that secret?
It's Luka. It has to be Luka.
Do you still want to catch that Salutor?
Yes, absolutely.
Despite the risk?
I hope I can persuade you to come with me.
That's an enormous favor you're asking me. I hope you'll be able to return it.
I give my word.
Did you hear? We're going to see Luka Bogosian.
And then the snacks need raising. Great, men fight their wars, but what's that to us, the peasants? Valid question.
I'm not here to fight.
Luca!
You shouldn't have threatened my wife.
Why did you do this?
I don't know what you're talking about.
You're the one who brought the Salutor here. The spirit that you all say arrived in the village after Vasily's death. The Salutor is what's making fear consume you all and making you hot-headed. And it's because of your flaw, which has been within you since the murder took place.
A murder might just be about to take place.
Cut off his head.
What?
Tear off his head before he opens his mouth again.
Oh, it's you.
Unless you're the one that killed him.
And I'd do it again if I could. Get out of here!
Here you are, Thaumaturge. Vesna's flaw is mine, and you're mine.
Fighting wild Salutars. Defeat a wild Salutar. You must get rid of the shadows that protect him. Vanquishing the shadows will weaken him, but the weaker he is, the more fiercely he will fight back. The bard tells you when the wild Salutar needs more enemies, will send more enemies against you. The bard tells you when the wild Salutar sends more enemies against you. The Book of Vows cause you to enter the suffering state. States can have a benign or potentially deadly effect. Read the descriptions carefully. You don't want to get caught off guard. Oh, two more. All right. a solid hook, lady. Good job. And down she goes.
You lose. You're going crazy again, you blind fool.
A little faith, Thaumaturge. Focus on what's true. My voice is true. I am the truth, you see. Look.
You defeat Bokovac, the D-dimension Salutor, but you cannot tame him on your own. Rasputin comes to your help. The untamed Salutar won't obey your orders and stops you from developing and weakens your perception. Fortunately, Rasputin soothed his anger and you achieved the unachievable.
Unbelievable.
How do you feel? Are you all right?
Well, I don't think I'm hallucinating, but that means I'm currently facing a crowd of furious lumberjacks with axes, so I'd say I've been better.
What? What? I'm telling the truth. I do it again. None of you understand anything. It's because of this magician. It's his fault.
The magician didn't kill Vasily. He didn't bring the evil here. You're a witch! To the stake with her! To the stake!
And you, why are you just standing there? Are you just letting them do this? Fine. I'll handle it myself. I did it before, and I can do it now.
What have you done?
Go. You don't need to see this.
Except I'm pretty sure that the mayor helped hurt her.
Nothing has to be decided at the moment. Certainly not things that can't be undone.
Well, exactly. Beat it, you scoundrels. There's enough blood in this village already.
Sharing a village with murderers?
You were the first to spill blood!
It's not the same. If that's the case, you're banished from the village. Get out of here! We'll burn away the impurity you left in our village. Phew.
That seems unfair. But I guess the things in life, when are things fair?
Excuse me, sir? Do you happen to know when the train arrives? The postmaster said it's usually no more than an hour late, so it should be here any moment. I got a tougher question for you.
Pardon?
Will this train get me close to Albuquerque?
Yeah.
I'm afraid that's an ocean away, and even to the ocean you've got a ways to go.
Thank you. Ever since I took a wrong turn at Albuquerque, I can't get my bearings. The things I've seen, sir. Places I've been. I just can't get to Albuquerque.
What? Is that a Bugs Bunny reference? I wasn't expecting that in this game.
I wanted to send 2 telegrams, one to Warsaw and one to Paris.
Mr. Shulsky, I was meant to send for you when the driver came to get the mail. My condolences about your father.
No. Sorry, buddy.
Do you still want to send something?
I need a minute.
Did you come to say goodbye to me?
More like to share my fear. Your condition yesterday, after the fight with that Bukovac, it troubled me. I don't think my treatments are having a long-lasting effect. And you don't look the best. Do you feel all right?
I've just heard that my father is dead.
My condolences.
After your treatment, when I was hallucinating, I saw him. I heard his voice for the first time in years. I'm sure it was him. A strange feeling.
Maybe he came to say goodbye. Maybe it was his last chance to speak to you. A prophecy.
I hope not.
What do you intend to do now?
I have to bury my father in Warsaw. What about you?
Thanks to you, I don't think I have anything else to do here. I had a little time to think about what I saw in your mind. Tell me, Victor, have you ever seen a human skull cracked open on the cobblestones?
I haven't.
I have. The skull of Franz Ferdinand himself, with his brain spilling out onto the sidewalk. I also saw the white steps in Odessa running with blood. A battlefield blanketed in lethal fog, with faceless beings emerging from it. This hasn't happened yet, but I saw it as clearly as I see you now. Thanks to you, I know that I can stop it. I know that I am part of history, and I can change it. Even at the cost of scorn, contempt, or my life. You promised me a favor, so Warsaw sounds perfect.
Warszawa! Warsaw! Warsaw! Last stop, Warsaw. Time to wake up.
It's clouding over.
The weather is like my mood.
Aside from the circumstances of the funeral bringing you back, you hadn't thought of ever returning here?
I hate this city. It always makes me think of the stench of vodka, sweat, and urine. Corruption, poverty, and trust me, no justice but street justice.
I'm sure something must have changed since you left.
But probably not for the better.
What about the people? Those close to you? You'll never miss them?
The only person I consider close is my sister. But Varsovians? Let's see. Workers are striking. They want to take advantage of the Tsar's visit to Warsaw. The protests are being violently suppressed. Last week, around a dozen people were killed. Polish Socialist Party militants attacked a train. They stole money, bonds, and explosive materials. They're also suspected of robbing a transport of Dutch pomade. The socialists in Warsaw must look pretty sharp then. Further along, we've got murders, muggings, and poverty.
The newspapers feed on sensation. Remember that in darkness, even a small spark can be seen clearly. Even I can feel hope from all the people riding with us. Can't you?
Even without my powers, I can tell that hope is bringing people here from all three petitions. Miners, steelworkers, governesses, maids, speculators, thieves. I've forgotten to read a few of our fellow passengers' possessions, and I know that hope can have many faces.
Will you share that knowledge with me?
There's a terrified woman riding with us. She's either running away or in hiding. I think that gentleman is smuggling something, because excitement is all mixed up with guilt inside him. And this dandy, he's going whoring.
If there's something I've learned in life, Victor, it's never to neglect the horse.
So, end of the line. Welcome to Warsaw.
I think the time's come to ask where you plan to stay.
I'll let you know when I come up with something.
So sorry about the lag. I don't know what that's about. Chapter 1. What am I doing here? Finish your business in the village and go to Warsaw. If that is any better. I can never catch a streetcar.
When people unite, empires fall.
Go to your father's funeral at the cemetery. I'm looking for anything that we can read or... Actually, I just remembered. Hold on. When I opened the journal, the game froze. That's unfortunate. We're back. I'm slightly afraid now to take a look at the journal, but I guess I need to know if it worked. Can I read it? Can't. Oh, well. Okay, here we go.
When people unite, empires fall.
I sort of had wondered if I was getting ready to crash, just from how the cutscene. Of course, laggy. Alright, let's go see your father. I always have this. Oh, the Daily Courier, the latest news. The chief of police of the city of Warsaw hereby informs the general public that, in connection with the Majesty's visit, the number of units patrolling the streets on this day will be doubled. In particular, the constables will look out for the groups of troublemakers that have been gathering more and more recently near major thoroughfares to protest against the Thaumaturges and demand that His Majesty officially condemn them as charlatans and a menace to humanity. Yesterday, near the Ramarska Street, the police arrested 15 people who protested loudly and disrupted traffic, demanding that Thaumaturge be punishable by death. The protesters were intoxicated and started a fight with the police unit dispatched on scene. I've got rheumatism and scurvy. I never even left Warsaw. Thaumaturge leaflets. Citizen, beware of the Thaumaturges who act in secret, plotting to bring down the economy and thus take complete control over our society. Let us protect our children from those degenerates waiting for the right moment to take control over the most innocent minds and souls. Let us get rid of those parasites. Recent research shows that Thaumaturge brains are burned out from thoughts that go against nature. Hence, they cannot be treated equally to the normal people. Let us act now before it is too late. They thoughts. I'll prove my worth. The chief will give me credit. Oh. The Country Weekly Magazine. Today, the Supreme Order of August 28th was announced. The Governor General of Warsaw, Commander of the Warsaw Military District, Adjutant General Maxovich, will be released from his current duties while retaining the title of the Adjutant General. He'll be replaced by a second in command. Mnealia. News for all Warsaw greenhorns. How to get your bearings in the big city. The Warsaw Courier, their majesties have arrived. With this issue of the Courier is in your hands, the ancient city of Warsaw will be receiving its most distinguished guests. His Majesty Nikolai II, the Emperor of all Russia and the King of Poland, and Grand Duke of Finland and Her Royal Highness Serena Alexandra? Serena Alexandra? I'm not even going to try that last name. Will arrive in her city this afternoon. This will be the royal couple's first visit to Warsaw. On this long-awaited and joyous occasion, our city has taken up a festive appearance. Streets have been adorned with festoons of flowers and greenery, and the entire area that the royal procession will pass through is filled with crowds of people wishing to pay homage to their majesties on behalf of Warsaw and all of the kingdom. And with that vow of loyal allegiance, Polish hearts send to the throne a quiet echo of fervent desires and lasting comfort. These arise from His Majesty's words, who declared in his grand manifestos that his ultimate goal was to ensure the happiness of all his loyal subjects and discern all his loyal subjects' needs. Those gracious words of the sovereign have become a source of comfort for the people of the Kingdom of Poland. In the name of that comfort, the Polish people under Russian rule are happy to greet His Majesty today, trusting their substantial needs will be recognized and ready for civic service. Revolutionary leaflets. Brothers! The 11-hour workdays are killing us. Let's follow the example of the workers in German and English factories and fight to reduce them to 9 working hours. Join the strike. Put down your tools and join the fight for our future. That guy's got a weird look. Well, F you too, buddy. Menu. Borscht or broth. Fruit soup. cottage with crayfish, goose and jelly, young turkey, romaine lettuce, pan-seared saffron milk cups, cucumber salad, compote, cream with chocolate, pears a la Toro, cup of greenages, mocha, black coffee. I actually am very hungry right now, and I was thinking about going and getting food, but tragedy on Marsklovska Street? No, it's not. I know I did. Several people have died in a building collapse, including respected Warsaw entrepreneur Stanislaw. No one seems to know the cause of the accident, defective construction of the building, or a deliberate attack. All we know is it could not have been foreseen. Shock and awe. The tenement house was inhabited by 4 families. 3 of them are now in mourning after losing their beloved ones. The Boguslawskis lost their children. Mr. and Mrs. Grodecki lost their lives. And Franziska, the owner of the pram and linen factory warehouse, perished in the collapse. The case is being investigated by the police, while residents are advised caution when walking on city streets. Too old for this shit. A city that does not forget.
Why such a crowd?
The circus has come to town.
These are troubled times. Brothers turn against brothers. Russia has had enough bloodshed. The violence must stop. When socialists attempt to divide Russia and her subject nations, to dent the sword that smote the enemy at Grunwald, this demands my decisive action. Thus, by my grace, I hereby appoint as Governor General of Warsaw, Georgi Antonovich Skowon.
A butcher.
Warsaw! The time for leniency and indulgence is over. From the moment this office is bestowed on me, no forces hostile to the subjects of Greater Russia will have any further right to exist. None! Whether it be brutal socialist subversives, communists, Jews, or other satanic provocators.
He sure knows how to unite a crowd.
Pardon me. Are you Polish?
Yes, I feel Polish. My name's Victor.
Wanda.
This is Russia here. Like it or not. Warszawa! Время террора закончилось.
Иди нахуй!
My first decision as Governor General of Warsaw. Arrestować.
Oh no.
Great heroes in their sense of timing. Of course, now they're the first ones in the fight.
Samoobladanie, Poliaki. We want that rebel. The Loudmouth.
Damn.
What happened?
Here, gentlemen. Please kneel and tie my shoe.
I didn't dare suggest it myself.
Can I ask you a tiny favor? The Russians can't find out about this. The military is just looking for an excuse to suppress the crowd, and these workers are dreaming of thrashing a Russian gendarme.
Either one of you confesses to disturbing the peace, or Wsiek zabieraj. We'll take you all in.
You can't handle all of us.
Can you get us out of here?
I think I'm open to any kind of suggestion.
With a book like that, I'd find out what would convince one of these bastards to let us go. Or I'd take on that self-appointed leader of the proletariat.
Interesting strategy. Who are you, really?
A damsel in distress.
Those don't usually hide ammunition in their stockings.
Can I explain it to you another time?
For instance, I could disclose to a soldier that you came here with ammunition under your skirt.
Seems rude.
Maybe we should see who they believe. A respected lady of Warsaw, or a common magician who just 100 years ago would have been burned at the stake.
Well, since you asked so nicely, I'm going to take a look around.
Press from a girl in trouble. Oh. Wanda, who I met during the kettling incident, needs me to help her inconspicuously escape. Small bullets carry big emotions. Hope, because they are meant to benefit the cause. Fear, which in these difficult times makes its way even in the hardest hearts. And determination, the companion of courage, without which it would be impossible to face reality. Each bullet was hidden in the nooks and crannies of the undergarments with care and precision. Just like the previous time and the time before that, this is nothing new for the person who took it.
Do you think it's a good idea to stir people up and send them to face bullets and bayonets?
What do you want then? My whole life on my knees? Kissing Ruski's ass?
Do you realize blood is about to be spilled? And that it might be mine? Fuck off!
Okay, so what I do miss, in the earlier version that I was playing, there was actually a little notation next to each choice about which flaw it was, the wording was coming from. And I noticed in the full release, it's not saying that. I'm pretty sure that was pride. And I was trying to play not leading towards pride. So they're doing it kind of more of an RPG style, which is fine. I miss that. Workers' leader. The workers' leader is a charismatic man whose words greatly move the crowd. He will not keep quiet, even if it means ending up in a cell. How much longer is this going to take? Lady, it will take as long as I want it to. But I'm innocent. I'm late for work. What a loss. There's something here. Oh. Police barrier. Police barrier meant to help with keeping order during the rally. The seemingly ordinary barrier carries the memory of a hand whose firm grip represents the determination of the one who controls it. It was the gendarme commander who set up the barrier, carrying in his heart a desire to return to the warmth of his home. All he needed was a cape.
Me, gentlemen.
The crowd has received the order. For now, zero response.
We'll give them a moment to arrest them all, book them, interrogate them. Gospodi will be home in November.
Are ready to pacify the crowd. They won't hesitate to arrest those who draw their attention. The manhunt at the station. The sergeant wants to call it a day and go home as fast as possible. A manhunt entails a lot of work that he'd rather avoid. With a little nudge, he might settle for taking in the agitators and letting the rest go. The workers' leader is perfect for the role.
Gentlemen, please forgive me. Maybe there's a faster way to get this situation resolved.
Back off, Poliak, or we'll start shooting. Paniatno, scrum!
He's calling us
Dawaj.
nice names. Make the sergeant accuse the worker and work. A proud answer not only draws from your flaw and prime level, but also feed it even more. Do we throw the worker under the bus? Or do we invoke your last name? Invoking our last name might only make us let him release us and maybe a person of our choosing. So that would get Wanda out of here. But it wouldn't stop him from still doing the worker. Let's just sacrifice the worker.
Started. Should we go in and capture the worker who's mouthing off and let the rest go?
Da, Sergeant. We can use anyone as an example.
Szagom marsz!
Goodbye.
You're welcome.
I wanted to thank you at our next meeting. We could use someone like you.
We? Meaning the people you were carrying ammunition for and who got you Dutch pomade for your hair.
You haven't just got pretty eyes, you know how to use them. Maybe you'll find time one day for some jam donuts at Burke Rotblitz's?
Another meeting. The fearless Wanda, a smuggler of bullets, proposed a meeting at Burke. A woman I met during the kettling incident was smuggling bullets in the nooks and crannies of her undergarments. Clearly, it wasn't the first time she's done that. Unfortunately, this time the garter didn't hold, and the bullets fell into the pavement. Maybe fate will have us cross paths again, and we'll meet at Burke for a jam donut. I'm sold. Oh, you can't see, but I'm actually on a blanket right now because I'm cold. The fact if I want to read anything, I have to use the mouse. But in every other part of the gameplay, you don't use the mouse. You just use the keyboard. I find it kind of funny. And also slightly, like, just 2% resented because I'm cold. I could go make a cup of tea. That sounds fantastic. There's a lack of items to read and to do about that. That way. Such a fascinating view, though. I do really like the look of the game. What's that? Pick up a ball card. I bet we're taking that, aren't we? Are you looking for some hookers or going home? Both? Kidding. I'm kidding. Oh, I'm smaller. What of it? Mister, are there any pictures in this book? Floating stick. Okay, what am I doing? We should probably go to our father's funeral. But just like me in real life, I am procrastinating. So many hours without sleep, unless that last safecracker was just a dream. Let's go. Alright, I think I'll call it done here. Thank you so much for keeping me company, and I'll be back with more soon. And hopefully we get to keep our progress this time.